women, do you want to share your bathrooms with a man in a skirt? Some trans women call themselves women, okay?
Yeah.
So what does even protecting women mean? It looks like, setting some women against other women, man and woman, which actually is not just incorrect, it is inhuman, it is illogical, and completely unacceptable. Everybody, when you go to pee, you do not think of attacking. In 1969, they keep calling it the Stonewall riots, the gay riots and stuff. It was not a riot. In a heterosexual marriage, if the primary provider dies, the other person may be left high and dry, right?
Hello, welcome to the Federal. We have with us Ritash, who is the co-founder of the Rung Foundation. It is a pan-India intersectional queer trans collective started in 2020. So we are here to talk to Ritash about Trump's new presidential order on the two genders. What you feel about Trump's order which says America will recognize only two genders now.
Okay, very disappointing, very outrageous. We are all, the entire queer trans community from all over the world. But unfortunately, it is not so surprising because he's been talking about this for a while, that it was one of his major election promises, and it was also something which he did in his previous term as president. Okay, so rather this was a re-election promise also. So that directly connects with me because, as a gender fluid person, I use they, them pronouns. Okay, and these are just not about pronouns, this is a part of me. All right. So returning to the specifics of the order, which, apparently is effective immediately on the day of the inauguration. I think in his inaugural speech or right after he has said this. So they are talking about just recognizing two biological sexes, man and woman, which actually is not just incorrect, it is inhuman, it is illogical, and completely unacceptable. Because even if they want to base it on biology, there are intersex people, okay, who by birth and because of their chromosomal variations and, other things which might develop as external or internal, other bodily variations, hormonal variations, the intersex are never, unless they choose to be, can never be categorized as one sex or one gender. And the global population of intersex people is at least 1.7%. And legally, they are recognized as another biological sex also, apart from whatever gender they choose, in some countries like Germany, okay? So they can actually write, if they want to, on the thing as a child is born intersex, okay? And India also officially last week only, Tamil Nadu government has started releasing specifically data on the number of intersex births. Okay, so, so what I'm saying
is absurd.
It's absurd, and there is complete evidence of all kinds of humans being of various genders. And if you want to root it in biology, there is evidence. If you want to root it into, sociobiology, because neither is independent of the other, right? Yeah. Whether it is emotions or thoughts, preferences, physical characteristics or something. So what Trump is doing is essentially he is discounting and also setting a trend to discount certain kinds of people like us, like me, but tragically but unsurprisingly, this is extending to all minorities, We know racial minorities, we know immigrants, and it would extend to, veterans, maybe people with disabilities, because veterans who are openly trans, by an order when Biden was president, they were allowed in the army. Okay. Not just veterans, even people to fight. Their, gender markers have to be removed or they might have to leave. In fact, the other historic thing which happened, historic and more very important thing which happened was in 2022, Unlike in India where you have to say T or other, they've used what is called the gender marker X, where you can be of any gender or not reveal it and specify it. But whatever it is, disclosure is not the thing. The question of inclusion and respect and dignified treatment is what is completely getting rescinded by this order.
In the order, it talks about he's bringing this order to defend women. He says the order is to protect women. What do you feel about that?
Okay, two things, and I mean, from what I know, he's calling it biological extremism. That's what is this saying. Okay, defending
Gender ideology extremism.
Yeah, and but I know we would have heard of what is called biological determinism, which again self-determination of gender identity supersedes, right? Because everything, and as I said a few minutes earlier, cannot and is not rooted only in physicality or biology, however you put it. Okay, but actually, sometimes I'm looking at the ridiculousness of this whole protecting or defending women, because this is not only about rescinding rights of trans people, gender fluid people, gender diverse people, but also of the entire LGBTQIAP plus spectrum. Rather, 2S also, two-spirited are the indigenous, gender diverse people, which are very much present in the US, who are very much present in the US. So, so women could be queer, women could be lesbian, okay? And women can be, homosexual. In the earlier period, they never used the word lesbian. They just used the word gay for even homosexual women and stuff. And some trans women call themselves women. Okay.
Yeah.
So what does even protecting women mean? It looks like, setting some women against other women.
Yeah.
Okay. So, which, as I say here, more than being sad and shocking, it's actually becoming very strange and stupid. Actually,
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, can you talk about the impact now on various spheres like education, healthcare? In prisons too, he's planning to bring it in.
So this is going to be a far-reaching and almost all-encompassing, kind of order. And in fact, two things which I immediately remember is that Chase Trangio, a trans-masculine person, who is one of the lawyers at the American Civil Liberties Union. So he also, along with, of course, others in the American Civil Liberties Union, had very proactively put together a very detailed analysis of what was to be expected from, the Trump presidential administration in comparison with what Trump did in his previous term, 2017 to 21, which of course Biden rescinded. But they have given literally a blow-by-blow, account of what is possible in terms of, again, especially healthcare rights being revoked, provisions being rescinded, how, of course, workplace protections, irrespective of whether they are governmental workplaces like the military, veterans, because essentially if you are in the military once, that means like you have been in the military. And of course, any kind of employment, it could be corporates, profit-making organizations, non-profits, casual labor, whichever, essentially.
So what have they said?
So coming to, in fact, it also directly, is saying that this very well-known worldwide adage called DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, while it is not limited to inclusion and equity or for only gender diverse people, it is for also people with disabilities, including people with invisible disabilities like me. But, and it is there worldwide. In fact, such kind of provisions, which are there, as I was saying, in any kind of workplace or by any employer, will all be rescinded, or they would reduce budgeting. Unfortunately, funding cuts already many corporates worldwide have already announced, except for, I think Apple has said, no, we are not rescinding our DEI provisions, but that's becoming an exception. So all we're talking here is not anything big we are asking for, We are saying that keep what is there, Be a human of the current times, right?
But the 2020 Supreme Court Bostock versus Clayton
County, thing was on that only, on protection of workplace rights, inclusion in the workplace. Inclusion not just means saying, oh, I'll be respectful to you.
So there is a Supreme Court order
on that. Yeah. So
will that all be rescinded?
It looks like, because actually if you go, the order is there for anybody to see, that it has actually listed every detailed protection to be rescinded, In fact,
revoked,
rescinded, revoked, whatever. Essentially, when we say that, basically to roll back.
Roll back,
So essentially,
roll back rights and protections,
everything, provisions, everything, because
for trans,
trans, queer, everybody. And also that, that is probably why they've listed every detailed thing. Not just saying, because, people can say, oh, this is not there, that is not there. Yeah, so that is a thing. So that's why we have to appreciate ACLU, to say that they're already so prepared and already started putting out material to create awareness and preparing litigations already.
How do they plan to fight this?
They say they will go to the courts because it looks like there's no other way. Of course, the public awareness campaigns, healthcare protection, campaigns, all that is there. But a presidential order, there's only so much you can do without legal protections, without the courts, passing protective orders or superseding orders. There's no other way, right? So, but the lucky thing is that at a state level, you can probably, and which is what has happened in some of the other earlier judgments. Like, for instance, the bathroom bills, which actually, this whole thing of, gender extremism, what they're calling, and protecting women, almost had its roots there.
What is this bathroom bills?
Bathroom bills are essentially, basically, which could have become laws, and some states they have become laws. They're very state specific. What they are saying is that a restroom, whether it's in a public space like a train station or a bus stop, or in a workplace, or in a hospital, a school, whichever, they cannot be used by anyone according to their gender identity. It has to be only for biological women and biological men. And they never used this for the men. They kept saying, oh, you women, do you want to share your bathrooms with a man in a skirt, with a boy who can attack you? And in fact, many women have said, no, I don't fear anybody like that. I only fear, extremist thought. I do not fear. I know many trans people who are not going to be, attacking me, because everybody, when you go to pee, you do not think of attacking somebody usually. Although we know sometimes in private spaces, things happen, but it has never been because of trans. In fact, gender diverse people are attacked more in bathrooms, right? It is not the other way around. Yeah. This is not just about queer trans people. It's not just about LGBTQIA plus people. It's about people. Okay, if you can harm, if you can deny fundamental rights of one vulnerable community,
erase them completely,
it can be done. And which is what is their plan, right? That they will do it to the immigrants. They will do it to, veterans who are likely many people who will be with disabilities. Because historically, the US, more so in the Stonewall pub in downtown New York City and a few other places across the US, but Stonewall is of the maximum historic importance, to us queer trans people worldwide. In 1969, they keep calling it the Stonewall riots, the gay riots and stuff. It was not a riot. It was not even trying to be a rebellion or a revolution.
1969.
Yeah. The Stonewall pub was always encouraging and welcoming openly gay people, trans people, okay, who again were not the privileged ones, but, people who were black trans, the drag queens, the Latina, of whom, two very important people are Marsha Johnson and Sylvia Rivera. Okay, so if that country cannot respect rights, which prides itself on being a great democracy, supposedly restoring democracy in other countries. We know, of course, those are all justifications for unnecessary wars, but still, okay, if that country is rescinding something so basic, so fundamental, we in this again highly right-wing polarized country, where again there are lots of indigenous queer trans cultures, that too, and we know very well that Modi and Trump are pally, right? So
Yeah, coming back to that question on India,
yeah,
the impact on India.
So they can also use, two world's largest democracy, let us, mimic each other, right? Because, and this is very much related to what happened just about a week or 10 days ago, where the marriage equality, petition came up for review
In India.
In the Supreme Court, and a big, hoo-ha was saying, oh, it's a reconstitution bench, it's a huge bench, 5-member special bench only for this review petition. And they didn't even hear it once.
At least the marriage equality
petition, okay. At least last year, the Supreme Court heard it in India. This time, the so-called reconstituted expanded bench just dismissed the petition. This is disgraceful, this is disrespectful, this is inhuman, because you can still find arguments, whatever counter arguments, think, pass some orders, whatever. You say that, oh, there's this petition coming up for review, and just completely dismiss without even, a few minutes of hearing. That's unacceptable, because this was not just about marriage equality. It was asking for adoption rights. It was talking about so many other provisions for partners of, people of, the LGBTQIA plus community. Like, for instance, say you have an older partner, you have a family member, some kind of, say, savings or financial, like, sharing of accounts, or, buying property together, whichever, registering. Some very fundamental, you can, if not anything, you can consider each other a codependent, right? So, because there have been very tragic cases where one partner has passed on, and the other partner, even if they had social acceptance, if there's no legal acceptance, the other partner is left high and dry, right? It's just like in a heterosexual marriage, if, the primary provider dies, the other person may be left high and dry, right? Despite rights. So here
I have another question on the India impact. Will there be impact on the funding of NGOs dealing with LGBTQ
rights? It is very much possible, because although again in India, with all the tightening of the FCRA rules, especially for non-profits or anybody who's receiving funds from outside, yet it is, because obviously if they can't support things in their own country, where will they support anything elsewhere? Support not even financially, if they're not even allowed to talk about it. Like in India.
But is there a lot of US funding in these organizations?
I can't say for sure. It is reducing. It has been there. I'm not denying that. I've myself worked with the organizations. And I was also in the corporate industry for quite some time in two very large American companies, in the Indian arm of them. And there was, so the whole thing literally can be overhauled very quickly. And this is no exaggeration. This is not just coming from fear. This is because the order clearly spells all this out. And we know certain litigations can be happening very quickly. Court orders can be passed. But until then, why should someone's fundamental right to existence itself, forget about equal existence and, provisions, be threatened, be denied? So.
And do you think it can happen in India as well? You were talking earlier about the possibility of this.
See, again, what happened with the marriage equality petition, or the review petition rather, can again extend, right? Because you have, very quickly.
Two largest democracies.
Two large democracies which like to compare each other. And are they real democracies itself is a question, because what is the founding principles of democracy? Everybody is equal in the eyes of the law. And the people who vote for people who they think is represent. And I'm not getting utopian here. I'm going by constitutional provisions, right? I'm going by what the law. So if the law is actually saying, you are, as you said, your existence is invalid, erasing you as a human being, right? And most importantly, also, are they even hinting that you people should reverse your, because a trans person, if they are biologically changing, okay, they take hormone therapy,
Yes.
right? Or if they've undergone surgery, are they supposed to reverse? That is impossible. And even if something like that is attempted, it's very harmful.
Yes.
It's life-threatening,
Yes, it's
right?
scary.
Yeah. So all we're saying is that, I mean, in so many mini groups that I'm part of, people are like worried, angry, upset, slightly amused by this whole protecting women kind of thing. But I think, not only I think, I surely know it's a wrong precedent to set.
It's a step backwards.
Yeah, many steps backwards.